علمي من الرحمن ذي الآلاء بالله حزت الفضل لا بدهائي كيف الوصول إلى مدارج شكره
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وعلى عبده المسيح الموعود وبعد. Our dear viewers, I once again welcome you to our program, Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam, a program in which we review the masterpiece of the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam. The book under discussion, we are now in another episode, and I greet you with a warm welcome that Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I've moved with one of our distinguished Sheikh Sahib, that is Sheikh Ramadan Kabagambe, and I'll request him to say salam to our viewers.
I'd like to take this opportunity to say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and may peace and blessings of Allah be unto you all.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Stay tuned and remember to have a copy of the Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam, that is Islami Usul Ki Philosophy. If you don't have it in hard copy, visit our website www.alislam.org and get one of yourself, a soft copy. We have so far discussed the first question, and we had begun discussing the second question. When I was reading this book, I came across the three knowledge of certainty that the promised Messiah discussed. Sheikh Sahib, our viewer would like to know, what are they?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وعلى عبده المسيح الموعود عليه الصلاة والسلام. That is a good question, because the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam, while discussing those three knowledges, he stated by quoting a verse of the Holy Quran, and allow me to go through it briefly. He said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. From that, the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam indicated that there are stages of understanding something. For example, when a person has been doing something in this world, he expects a reward after this life, in the next life, in the hereafter. And so, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam testified to what the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam said in this very book, by saying that this life that we live in, this dunya, this earth, this world, is actually sowing field of the hereafter. Meaning to say that what you sow is what you reap. What you've been doing in this life
is the earth.
Yes, is exactly
reap.
Yes, is what you will reap in the hereafter. So, as in trying to let you know, let me also tell you what Allah the Almighty said in the verses I recited, and which were quoted actually by the promised Messiah in this book. Alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, mutual rivalry in seeking worldly increase diverts you from God, till you reach the graves. Nay, you will soon come to know. Nay, again, you will soon come to know. Nay, if you only knew with certain knowledge, you will surely see hell in this very life. Ay, you will surely see it with the eye of certainty. Then, on that day, you shall be called to account about the worldly favors. He is indicating here that what you've been working for here, you will get it in the hereafter. And it tells you of how you'll be certain or unsure of what you will be getting. Take an example that somebody has not been doing good.
Yes.
And instead of indulging himself in righteous deeds and good works, one continues to do bad things and he doesn't care of the hereafter.
Continue sinning.
He continues sinning. So what happens is that this gentleman or lady does not actually realize the effect of the evils that he's doing
when he's on earth.
When he's on earth. Or even if he comes to know and he does not realize where it will lead him to, it leads him to an understanding that actually if he were to realize, he would see that he was living in hell. Although one may not realize it. But the promised Messiah, ﷺ, in trying to elucidate and educate us on this very issue, he said that it is like somebody seeing smoke somewhere. If I am standing here and I view or see smoke emanating from somewhere distant from me, from a certain point,
yes,
I will have to realize that there is fire there.
Yes.
Like there is a famous saying,
no smoke.
There is no smoke without,
yes,
there is no smoke without fire.
Yes, no smoke without fire.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if I see smoke somewhere distant and away from me, I will know by certainty of knowledge, by certainty of reasoning, that there is fire there. Because wherever there is smoke, there is a kind of fire there. But that is simple knowledge, you know? And it is not enough. It is still defective. So, but when I come close to that source of smoke,
yes,
I may realize that there is actually fire. And that leads me
to the certainty of you seeing.
Yes, certainty of knowledge by virtue of sight. Okay? I may, in the previous stage, we knew there is fire, but just out of understanding, by reasoning.
Yes.
But at this stage, the second one, I will have to know after seeing it.
Yes.
But still, that knowledge is still defective, because there are a lot of things that may look like fire. For example,
you have told us that you have seen, you have been able to realize that there is smoke.
No.
Not so?
Yes.
But after realizing that there is smoke, by knowledge of reason, you've known that there is no smoke without
fire.
Now, you've gotten a chance that you have come next to fire.
Exactly.
And you've seen fire. So that's knowledge of certainty by sight. Again, you are telling us that
there is another one.
There is another one. Which is that?
I'm coming to that. You see, I was saying that at this point, the knowledge that you have gained so far is still defective. It's not complete. Because there could be things that could resemble, fire, but not real fire. So that leads me, you see, it tells you that there is a kind of progress in what we want to do in this life. Somebody continues to progress in his spirituality, or somebody continues to do the wrong things until he's declared evil. So there is that stage, the last stage, which confirms that this is real fire by you touching that fire.
Is it hot?
Is touching, or you enter that fire and you realize that this is a real fire because you have felt and you have that feeling that it has been burning you, it is burning you there.
So after the experience,
you touch it and experience it, or you enter into it, it burns you and you become sure that this is real fire. So that is to tell you that actually in this life, we just start to sow
what we need to reap.
What we must reap in the hereafter. So it is up to us to do our best to try and do all good things. You see, the Holy Prophet ﷺ told us that, you see, evil and good are clear. The do's and don'ts of the Quran are clear. The haram and the halal are clear. So it is up to you, human being, to use your faculty of reason and understanding for you to actually reach that ultimate goal of your creation. For example, we are told in the Holy Quran that the primary reason, the sole reason, the purpose for you to be put in this world is to worship Allah the Almighty and to recognize His oneness. So that is why you see a lot of things happening, but somebody, even if there is anybody who is not a believer, who is a sinner, an arch sinner in the society, but when there is any problem that he encounters, some people tend to shout to Allah and for Allah to help them. That means there is that kind of instinct within every human being to search and look for Allah the Almighty. That is the essence of a kid after being born. The first thing we are told a kid should hear should be adhan and iqama. Why? It is to remind that kid that actually you have been brought into this world, but the reason for you to be here is to worship and recognize the oneness of Allah the Almighty, and there is nothing else. And that takes you to the fact that Islam bears a lot of responsibility to educate its masses, that even if you are embarking on the process of bringing out this kid into this world, there is a kind of dua that you are always encouraged to always pray. And even before the marriage takes place, you are always encouraged to pray to Allah the Almighty for getting good spouses, righteous ones. Because at the end of the day, you may get such offsprings that are going to be a problem to the society. Wrongdoers in the society. So that is why you always scrutinize ourselves in a way of trying to, reach the ultimate goal of understanding and recognizing the oneness of Allah the Almighty.
Our dear viewers, I once again remind you that if you have not gotten your copy, please go on our website www.alislam.org and get one. At least have it in soft copy and ensure that you are reading it. Because as we are discussing the book, you also be following and you get to know what did the promised Messiah ﷺ mean. Now we have seen the three kinds of knowledge. That is the knowledge of certainty by reason, the knowledge of certainty by sight, because we first reason. She has given us an example that the promised Messiah gave. That is, if there is smoke, before you realizing that what is bringing about the smoke, that only shows that you have reasoned. Then you will like to see. The promised Messiah ﷺ went ahead in the book Islami Usul Ki Philosophy to give us the state of existence. And they are, I think, three. What are they?
You see, like you said, the Prophet ﷺ said that there are three stages of human existence. One happens and starts from the point of your, delivery. You are put into this world. The life that you live from the point of your birth to the point of death is the first period, the first stage of existence.
Life.
That is the life of this world. That is the first part of your existence. And this is, like I said previously, quoting the Promised Messiah and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is a point at which you must do all your best to gain the life, the comfortable life of the hereafter. What you sow here is what you will reap there. And you see, human being is an amazing creature. The Quran tells you that you may choose not to believe and you may choose to believe. You have the option. You see, like I said, human being is an amazing creature. It's not like an angel. An angel has been created without any choice. An angel does not have any choice of doing bad or evil. He is there to do whatever Allah has commanded him. As the Quran says, يَفْعَلُونَ مَا يُؤْمَرُونَ. The angels do exactly what they are commanded, so they don't have any option. But human being, for you being a great creature of Allah the Almighty, you have been given an option of either sinning or doing good. But
you've given us an example of angels.
Yes.
Angels, do angels have life like us?
Angels do live in a kind of subtle way that you may not feel as a human being, but they are there.
So meaning they don't need to reap.
That tells you that they are commanded to do exactly what Allah needs of them, because they don't have that physical body of either doing bad or good. They have been programmed to do good always, so they don't have any option. This reminds me of hadith, the incident of when the Holy Prophet ﷺ was taken to sightseeing vision in the heaven. You remember he went with the archangel of God called Jibril. They went together. They stepped into the first heaven, the second, the third, the fourth, up to the seventh. But there is a point they reached. The angel told the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that I cannot go beyond this. But the Holy Prophet, we are told in that hadith that the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ managed to go beyond that. That tells you of the fact that you, as a human being, though you've been given the choice to do good or evil, but when you choose to do good, you become the best of Allah's creatures. Why? Because you've been given option to do bad, but you said, for Allah's sake, I'm not going to do bad, I'm going to do good. That tells you that the Holy Prophet ﷺ was a perfect human being, a person that you must emulate and take as a role model today. Because he managed to even supersede the angels in righteousness and doing good. So if we take him as an example, as a role model, we may end up actually doing like him, and maybe with Allah's grace, you may also surpass the angels. But that is not an easy task, but we must embark on it. So I was saying that this life that we live in is the sowing field of the hereafter. And that tells you that actually is in another Quranic verse in Surah Al-Balad. We have been told that وَهَدَيْنَاهُ نَجْدَيْنِ. After the creation of mankind, we've been able to, Allah is saying that he has given human being an option of doing bad or good. But he tells him that you either do bad or do good after knowing the outcomes, because he has been able to tell you that when you do good, you will be rewarded, but when you do bad, you will be punished. So it is up to you to choose whatever side you want to, to go to. You want to follow the side of evil, or you want to go to the side of good, of doing good.
In fact, support you. What do you want?
It is up to you
to put in your ground.
Exactly.
That you will sow.
That tells me that there is freedom of worship in Islam. You are required to worship Allah the Almighty, but if you choose not to worship Him, no problem. Nobody is going to force you. This reminds me of the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina. Remember, he lived together with other religions. The Jews were there, the other faiths were there, Christians were there, and even the pagans were there. The atheists, those who did not even have any belief, but they were there, harmoniously living together. So that reminds you that we must not take other people who believe in other religions to be enemies, but we must bring them together and show them why they should believe in Islam. But if they choose not to do so, it is up to them. I was saying that life of this world is a sowing field, but after this there is another stage of existence, which will be the second stage of what you've been asking me to tell you. I remember telling you that we are in the life of this world being the first stage, but there is another stage after death.
What is that?
That is called barzakh.
And what is the meaning of barzakh?
You see, barzakh is a combination of barra and zakha. Barra, in numerous verses of the Holy Quran, has been used in a way of separation, two things separating. Remember, at this point, somebody has died and the soul has been separated from the body. You see, there is a kind of resemblance between the body, and there is an attraction or acquaintance between these two, the body and the soul. But for the fact that they have been separated, that means this body is now useless. Now the life of this soul that was living in this world continues in barzakh. Barzakh is that intermediate stage between death, between this life and the day of resurrection. When souls are, when a human being passes away, his soul continues to a state called barzakh, awaiting, the resurrection, when bad or good will be pronounced, a verdict will be pronounced over this soul. Reminding you of what this soul has been doing in the world. So whatever was being done in this world would be perceived in the barzakh, awaiting.
Time to reap.
Exactly. It is that time that somebody feels what he's been working for in the world and waiting for that verdict to be pronounced in a period after resurrection. So like I was telling you, barzakh is that state in which man has been, is that state when a man is, or a soul is awaiting the punishment to be pronounced, or good or reward of paradise to be pronounced. Because at that time, though he has been doing good, the reward or the scent or the fragrance of what he's been working for will be felt at that time and in that intermediate stage. But the final and the best and utmost enjoyment will be felt in the hereafter. That is why there is a day, Yawmul Qiyamah, as the Quran states, and that is the day of resurrection. On the day of resurrection, all the souls that were awaiting their verdicts, either bad or good, either to go to hell or to go to paradise, will be pronounced at that day. So that stage, the third stage of existence, that being the hereafter, is also very important, and we must wait for it in anticipation of the reward of what we've been working for in the world which we live in today.
That is the state of resurrection.
That is the
and
state.
that's the third state of existence
Exactly.
of man.
No.
I thank you for that wonderful, in fact, you've given us a very good picture that if somebody is doing good, he knows what he will reap.
Exactly.
But if you are doing bad, unfortunately, you will not, you know also what you are going to reap. We would wish to continue, but it is time ever limiting us. Our dear viewers, we've come to an end of today's episode, and let us meet in our next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
علمي من الرحمن ذي الآلاء بالله حست الفضل لا بدهائي كيف الوصول إلى مدارج شكره